Hi guys, it's Colleen from Siempre Soul 1111. I hope you're doing well. This is the weekly update for the Divine Masculines. Twin Flame readings, favourite part of the week for me. I hope you guys are all doing good. And I just wanted to say thank you to each and every single one of you that has subscribed to this channel. I've got over 100 subscribers now, insane. So for each and every single one of you, I am truly grateful. For anybody new that's watching, welcome to the tribe. And if you like the videos, feel free to hit the subscribe button. And if you hit the little bell next to that, that will notify you of when I upload new videos, which I'm trying to do at the moment on a weekly basis, but sometimes life does sort of get in the way, so I do my best. Also, I've got a Instagram page where I do at Siempre Soul 1111 it is, so exactly the same name as the YouTube. And on there I'll do like daily quotes, but I also do readings now. So the program, I'll just check, is Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays, I pull cards for full reading for Divine Masculines and Divine Feminines. So I'll do like a start of the week energy read for the Twin Flames, then I'll do a midweek, and then I'll do a Friday reading for the weekend. I also on a Tuesday do individual readings by elements, so the fire and water are first on a Tuesday, and I will do them by individual star sign. Okay, so there'll be 6 readings up there on a Tuesday. And then also on a Thursday, I will do earth and air. And again, that will be by star sign. So there's sort of, you know, daily readings going up on the Instagram page. Also, if you've got any sort of suggestions on videos that you would like to see, I'm trying to keep the channel, in terms of focus, quite, you know, flexible really. So if there are any questions that you would like me to answer, I did a little video last week on surrender and my journey with that, so that may well be beneficial to you guys on the Twin Flame journey, because, you know, surrender is definitely something that we need to learn in this life, and it can be used across the sort of skills for that, and the coping strategies and the way that we go about it can be used across any sort of example or situation in our lives. So, right, let's take a look at the masculines, which I know is the reading you're all waiting for. See what's going on with him in his head, heart and 3D for this coming week. Note that the readings are general and they're timeless. Okay, so whilst I talk about this in this, you know, as in today in present terms, if you watch this at a later stage and it resonates, then it's for you. Okay, the readings are general, so if it doesn't resonate, then, you know, the reading just isn't for you, and there'll be plenty of other fantastic YouTube readers out there to check out. But do check back another week, because you know, I may tap into your energies also at a different stage. All right, let's rock and roll. Divine Masculines. Let's split the deck and see what's happening. Overarching energy in the headspace to fall, wanting to take a leap of faith for your feminines, feeling stuck, wanting to find balance, wanting to be victorious. Okay, so the overarching energy and headspace for you masculines for this coming week is the Fool, which is about taking a leap of faith, and it's the start of the journey. So for me, I feel on this energy that you've reached a point where you understand what a twin flame connection is, but you're not quite sure on how's best to move forward. I do feel that you've been feeling stuck for quite a while, and to be honest, that energy has been coming through the readings for, you know, for quite a while, for a few weeks now. But the reality of the situation is, masculines, you're not stuck. And I know at the moment that you want, you know, you're focusing on work, focusing on having stability, and you know what, you're watching your feminines from afar, and you're seeing how that, you know, they're finding emotional stability, which is a really good thing. You know, they're finding that stability in this world. You know, we've got the Hierophant card here, which can be about legal matters, marriage, could be about union also, you know, and wanting to, so it could be about an existing marriage that you're in also, masculines, that is a third party scenario post meeting your, you know, your feminine. You know, perhaps that's, you know, making you feel really stuck. Because let's be honest, you know, meeting your twin flame is never, it's not straightforward. But the 6, you know, you've got the 6 of Wands here. So in the headspace, there is, you know, there is victory, and you've got the Fool and the 6 of Wands here. So when you do decide to make that leap of faith, masculines, mentally, and move away from this, look, they're back to back, moving away from this mentality of feeling stuck. And I think you can only do that when you feel sort of semi-stable within yourself, which I understand. Pentacles, slow-moving energy, and, you know, you need to do it at a rate that you feel ready. But when you do decide to take that leap, the outcome on this based, you know, in your headspace, is going to be a successful one. So, sorry, I want to shuffle these, bear with. We're going to look at clarifying, and then we'll look at overall outcome in the headspace, and then we'll move on to your heart space masculines. And I understand for you guys that, you know, when you're governed by sort of logic and thought-based responses or reactions, when a situation that isn't sort of easily explainable via logic, it can feel quite difficult to understand, you know, because it doesn't fit in a box. But, you know, if there's any advice I can give you guys, is that life is a really great thing, you know, and our souls are not designed to be put into a box, you know, and you can sort of disconnect, because let's be honest, you've got freedom of choice within this connection, because it can for some be very, very disruptive, you know, confusing, and that's normal. It's okay to feel that way, you know, but decluttering it all and figuring it out it does take time. Overarching energy or outcome, sorry, for the headspace is the Six of Cups, and the Six of Cups is finding harmony, really, emotional harmony, you know. Sorry, that's the Seven of Cups. Yeah, sorry, that's the Seven of Cups, my mistake. The Seven of Cups is about confusion. I apologise for that. It's about confusion. So in the current headspace, you are feeling confused about what decision to make. This is like almost having too many options and not knowing which one you want to go with. That makes more sense. So yeah, Seven of Cups. Apologise about that. Okay, so let's take a look at, yeah, look, you're standing by masculines, looking at your feminines in their Queen of Pentacles, stable energy, and you know this has left you feeling out in the cold. You know, you're feeling that space. You are feeling that space, and you know, whilst you're feeling stuck, you know that you want to step forward in your King of Cups energy. And interestingly, from memory, that came up in the feminine's reading as the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups in hers, in her headspace. So again, you're kind of mirroring each other. But, you know, emotionally, masculines, I feel like you're emotionally coming to terms with this relationship or this connection, and you're starting to understand it, but it's everything else that's got to flow with it. You know, and that process can't be rushed. You know, I know that you want to be married to your feminine, and you're seeing her being single. This again came up in the feminine's reading. You know. Oh, look. This is beautiful. Victory. Because this is a twin flame connection. The Four of Wands is my twin flame card. And I'm so glad I shuffle on screen so you can see this. And I say that every single recording when this sort of stuff happens. But I absolutely love that. Look at that. Victory surrounding this connection. Harmony. Stability. Structure. Planning. Fours can be about planning. So I know you're planning some movement forward, masculines, but I know that at the moment you're just sort of coming to terms with things. But emotionally, I think you grasped it now. I do feel that's huge progress. You know, what we want to see is a bit more of, you know, we want to see the King of Wands, King of Swords, King of Pentacles, where you're at a stage where, you know, you're feeling stable, you know exactly how to, you know, move forward, and you're feeling, you know, assertive to be able to communicate fully, you know, and healing and awakening is it's done at our own pace, you know. Bite-sized chunks, my darling, bite-sized chunks. Right, let's take a little look at the heart space for you masculines and see what's going on. Emperor. Have you been being a little bit potentially stubborn here in your heart? Denying yourself of what this really, really is, and that's made you feel very stuck? But you know what, interestingly, in the feminine reading, the Empress came up, and I know that's how you guys see her. It is. And this is how she sees you. With or without the healing, you know, with or without disagreements. She knows on a soul level, you two are connected. That connection there is stable. Lover's card, look. Right above the Four of Wands. Soulmate, divinely guided connection. I think at the moment where you've been feeling left out in the cold, it has probably made you quite angry, and perhaps sort of, it could also be that if there's a third party situation, or you know, a marriage that you're in with this Hierophant already, that you know, that's something that you've felt stuck because of that, and you haven't, you know, wanted to move forward. That could be a small collective of you, but I think from, you know, for the main collective that I'm feeling and picking up on here, it's a collective where your feminines have taken a step back and you felt left out in the cold, and at points you felt really bloody angry about it, you know, and there is that sort of element of wanting to communicate in a 3D to be able to just bring balance to this, you know, this connection. But I think, you know, really you want to move forward with communication, not on the level of a page. It needs to be a King of Pentacles, and or, you know, stepping forward as the Emperor. Let's get some clarifiers on this for you, masculines. Devil's 6. So I'm going to pull 6, shuffle 6 times for you guys. But I definitely think you're struggling to find some balance, either surrounding a third party, existing marriage, or this connection. And you're looking at your feminine and seeing that she's sort of finding satisfaction with that 9 of Pentacles, and, you know, you're feeling the loss of her. But, you know, the spiritual awakening and the process of healing is such a personal journey, masculines, and I know that you're looking at the feminines and feeling proud of them for doing what's right by them. Because when you love someone, you want them to look after themselves. You want them to, you know, self-empowered, self-sufficient. You want to see them flourish. Right, let's go. Overarching outcome in the heart space. Ace of Cups, new beginnings. Beautiful, masculines. Okay, look. So clarifying this with the overall outcome in the heart space is the Ace of Cups. So that's new beginnings emotionally. That is about one cup that's investing in you. Let your feminine do the same thing. That came up in her reading in her headspace, I believe, from memory. So again, you know, now's the time for you to focus on your own healing and move those pages towards the Kings, as I said. You know, and yes, fine, it's been a lot of work for you to, you know, not be so angry about feeling left out in the cold, feeling sort of abandoned, I guess. But, you know, as these triggers come up from your twin flame, you know, that type of connection is there to sort of trigger old wounds within you, for you to be able to recognise, oh, I shouldn't have reacted like that, or what's this trying to teach me? You know, so ask yourself these questions as these triggers happen, masculines, because it is just unearthing that there's an underlying wound there that perhaps you're not even aware of, you know. And clarifying the Page of Pentacles is the Four of Swords, and the Four of Swords for me is about healing. And also, guess what? It's, you know, a match to the Four of Wands, which is stability in the connection, finding stability in your own healing, you know, holding space for your feminine so she can do the same. And, you know, finding that balance. Yeah, we'll if you look at the soulmates, you know, you've got two people looking at each other here in the Sun card. Sun's about wishes being granted, but it's also about new cycles, new beginnings, fun, vibrancy, love. So I do feel that once you find that balance within yourself, you know, and masculines, if you've been holding back on doing the work because you've got doubts about this connection and you feel like it doesn't logically make any sense and it all feels a little bit sort of murky and you're not sure, trust me when I say this, you cannot explain a twin flame connection logically in any way. There just aren't the words. So, you know, focusing on yourself is key. And if this is the Lover's card has come up because you're in another soulmate relationship at the minute, then, you know, you need to make a decision about this. But, you know, definitely new cycles in the heart space here for you guys, masculines. So now we're going to move on to looking at your current 3D. Reading for the current 3D for the divine masculines for this coming week. I'm going to split the deck. I feel drawn to split the deck on this one for you guys. 3 shuffles, deck split, bottom of the deck. Overarching energy, Queen of Wands. You've got the Queen of Pentacles, we've got the Queen of Wands here. This is how you're viewing your feminine. We've got the Queen of Swords. So we are just missing, let me see, we've got the Queen of Cups here. Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, Queen of Wands. Yeah, just missing the Queen of Cups. Just missing the Queen of Cups for your divine feminine here at the moment, masculines. But yeah, there's definitely, you know, you've seen your feminines assert herself definitely you've seen, yeah, because you're still sort of, you know, a lot of pages here, guys, for you, for masculines, you know, you're still sort of in that energy of, you know, as you evolve and as you awaken, your understanding of this connection will change, it will grow, it will evolve too. And I think as you move away from the you know, the page element of not being sure, being, you know, feeling really confused about this situation, hesitant to take that leap of faith, wanting, you know, wanting to focus on your, you know, your own healing. Once you do have that communication with your feminine, you know, there's the Ten of Cups there, there's happiness, there's fulfillment. You know, because I think at the moment you've been sort of coming from a place of lack, masculines, and sort of not seeing, perhaps you're guilty of not seeing the Two of Cups that were offered to you in the past, and you're crying over the three that you've lost. But the truth of the situation here for me is that, you know, you are moving away from that and moving more towards this Ten of Cups energy where there's fulfillment and happiness, you know, because at the moment, you know, you don't want your queen or your feminine to step forward. You want this to be you that makes the next steps. So let's look at the 3D situation. But as it stands at the moment, masculines, I think you're looking across to your feminines and seeing that they're healing. They're focusing on themselves, and I think that does make you, that does fill you with happiness. Definitely, it fills you with happiness. Take a look at the 3D situation for my divine masculines, please. Overall outcome. Some conflict here. Yeah. I think masculines, if you move into this communication with your feminines in a Page of Swords energy, which can be really brash and just a bit brutal, I think if you move into that conversation with logic, there's going to be some conflict there. So, you know, before you step forward and communicate with your feminines, my advice is to just trust in your intuition. You know, take a bit of time out and just refocus and go with your gut rather than your mind. Because I think if you go into the conversation too logical, I think it's going to have the opposite effect and repel the situation more, or even amplify it. So my advice is that you approach it in a way that is from the soul rather than from the 3D, you know. And perhaps, you know, instead of choosing to communicate because you're not feeling quite ready to, instead of communicating in the 3D, perhaps you need to send her your love via the 5D through meditation and just connecting. You know that this cycle of crying over spilt milk, which is what's the term used often in the 5 of Cups, is it's the Wheel of Fortune. So you know that this cycle needs to come to an end so that you're able to be victorious and be with your, you know, you've got a King and Queen on those cards, look, you know, and that's where we want to get this to. You know, so that you're the king of all of the spread and you can bring this union about. You know, because if you do go rushing in and approach your queen with the Knight of Swords and move forward in a really logical way, I think she's just going to assert herself and take a step back. I don't necessarily feel like there's going to be any disagreement. She's just going to say no, you know, and take a step back, and you're going to be back to square one, feeling heartbroken over what could have been. So I do think that taking this time to focus on your own healing is going to be key, masculine, so that when you do step forward, you're stepping forward in the right way. But in this moment, if you don't meditate already, my advice is focus on that. Focus near trees, that will enable you to feel really grounded. Focus near water, and that will allow you to just kind of, I don't know, purge emotions and cleanse. And then you look at how normally your intuition will talk to you during meditations, and there's plenty of guided ones up on YouTube. Honestly, they're brilliant. So, you know, it's something that you can do discreetly on your lunch break with your earphones in, and none of your colleagues need to know. Whatever works best, you know. But I think connecting with yourself and following your gut rather than your head is what's going to give you the desired outcome here, masculines. Because you know it needs to change, and you know you want to step forward in the right way. Yeah. So again, we had the Hierophant come out, and I mentioned that could be linked to a wedding. So it says religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. So again, maybe there is an element of conflict here when it comes to something that's religious, and maybe, you know, this journey of spiritual awakening conflicts with, you know, your religious beliefs. But, you know, there's also reconciliation here. Someone from your past is returning to your life. So, you know, this could be you, masculine, stepping forward to the feminines when you feel ready, and, you know, reconciling and re-establishing some form of communication, but in the right way. I'm going to pull you one additional guidance card, and these are the Doreen Virtue Daily Oracle Angel cards. So I'm going to just pull you one of these, masculines, so that you guys can just have a little bit of guidance for this coming week. But as I said, the reading is timeless. So when you watch it, if it resonates, the reading was meant for you at that time. Right, do we want to go top or bottom, masculines? What do you reckon? I'm going to go bottom. What do you desire? You now have the opportunity to write the script according to your heart's true desires. Once you clearly decide upon your true desires and know that you are ready and deserving of them, they'll rush into your life as if by magic. So again, this kind of, maybe there is a battle here of spirituality versus religion. You know, maybe there is that, you know, that doubt on reconciliation. But, you know, masculines, I think you know what you need to do. Definitely, you know what you need to do. But reconciliation is going to be, I think, a primary focus for you. I think it's just a case of when and how. But you got this. You know, like I said, meditate, follow your own guidance, and the answers will come to you, I'm sure. Right, that concludes the reading for this week, masculines. But thank you very much to each and every one of you that's watched it. Like I said, if you're new to the channel and you haven't hit subscribe, please do so now. And the little bell will tell you, if you hit that too, it will tell you when I've uploaded videos, which will be next week. And like I said, daily readings on Instagram if you want to head over there too. Thanks very much, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.